Welcome back to Local 4 Live, everybody. There is no question that most Americans consume too much sugar, often without even realizing it. But is it worse to eat or drink that sugar? Experts say it actually does make a difference. Doc McGee is talking with a registered dietitian from Henry Ford Health. Here is that conversation.
I'm joined by Hallie Saperstein, a Henry Ford Health dietitian. And so, Hallie, let's start out with something simple. Why is sugar bad for us?
Well, sugar doesn't have much nutrient value. And so we're putting something in our body where we could be putting something more healthy in our body instead.
And so, it's essentially empty calories. Is that what you're talking about?
Pretty much empty calories. And the more we have, the more we crave.
And if it's in our food, I take it's really just to enhance the flavor. It's not to produce any nutritional bonus or benefit.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, so metabolically, what are the harms of eating too much sugar?
So eating too much sugar can lead to fatty liver disease, heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, inflammation, and obesity.
Wow. All right. So I guess thinking about sugar, not all sugars are the same. What is the glycemic index and why should we pay attention to it?
Good question. So a high glycemic index means that the sugar or the food is more quickly metabolized in our body. We get a faster blood sugar spike, and then we get an instant crash. Whereas a lower glycemic index, it's going to take longer to absorb. So we're not going to get that. It's like a gradual release of the sugar. And so we get a reduced sugar spike.
And so that is taken into account by both the type of sugar and I guess maybe what you're eating it with. Is that correct?
Yes. So the types of sugar that are like a high glycemic index, a good example would be high fructose corn syrup. Or refined breads like white bread, white rice, cereal that doesn't have fiber in it. Whereas a lower glycemic index food would be more of a food with fiber in it, or food maybe also combined with a protein. So a lower glycemic index food might be a piece of fruit or a vegetable, so something like that, or a whole grain.
So high fructose corn syrup, of course, is not a natural substance necessarily,
Correct.
But sugar is in fruits, but fruits, of course, have other nutritional value and including fiber. And so that makes them more favorable, I guess, would be the simplest
Yeah.
way.
So the more natural sugar that we eat is because you can't get sugar out of your food sources. It's in virtually every type of food except for like meats and things like that. But if we can do a higher fiber food that also has sugar in it, that's going to be a better choice for you than say just something with high fructose corn syrup in it.
Okay, so we've been talking about eating things, and one of the main questions that I really wanted to address today was why is drinking sugar so bad? And talk about, I guess, the ways people drink their sugar.
Well, fantastic question. So drinking sugar is basically drinking sugar water, right? And so when you think about it, it's just sugar and water, and there's nothing else to lower that glycemic index of that food. So in other words, our recommendation for sugar is about 25 grams for females and 36 grams for males. Sugary drinks have like a 12-ounce soda has about 39 grams of added sugar, which is more than we're telling the average person to consume in a day. So that's why we'd rather you eat foods that have sugar that are combined with fiber and other sources.
So 1 can of pop can basically be your entire sugar consumption?
Yes, more than that.
More than.
So yes. So for females, we're recommending 25 grams of sugar. 1 can of pop, 1 12-ounce can could have 39 grams of sugar.
Okay, and so just for reference, and I actually did get it out.
Oh, good.
Just for reference, 39 grams of sugar is like 10 teaspoons of sugar. And these are like standard sugar packets. It would be like dissolving all this sugar into, and you would like this would be what you use for 1 cup of coffee.
Exactly.
It would be like taking all these packets of sugar and dissolving them into a drink and drinking it all at once.
Yep, and there it goes.
When you think of it that way, it's actually pretty crazy. I guess So pop clearly has a boatload more sugar than you need. What about things like orange juice?
So orange juice also, if you think about it, if you ate an orange, right, you would get fiber, you get other nutrients, you get vitamin C, right, which you still get the vitamin C, right, in the orange juice. But it takes about 10 oranges to make 1 cup of orange juice. I don't know if you've ever tried to make orange juice on your own, but you have to squeeze a lot of oranges just to make that 1 cup. So in other words, you're eating the amount of sugar in all of those oranges combined, but you're not getting that fiber that you would get if you just had the one orange.
So orange juice is maybe not, it's not as bad as pop, but it's not necessarily awesome either.
Correct. You're still getting some vitamins from the orange juice, but yet you're getting a lot of sugar that maybe you'd be better off eating that piece of fruit versus the juice.
Okay, so relative to drinking your sugar in the form of what I'm going to call empty calories of in sugar sweetened pop, I guess big picture, what is the biggest harm to that?
The biggest harm are the long-term effects.
Well, maybe both.
Yeah. And also that crash. So like say you had a pop, soda pop, and you were so thirsty, or you had maybe a slushie, right? A slushie has 80 grams of sugar. Okay, that's 20 teaspoons, 20 packets of sugar. So say you had that, you would get an initial surge of you'd feel good, you'd have nice energy, right? Soon after that, because you don't have anything else in your body, it's going to metabolize very quickly and you will get a crash. And you will feel more tired than you were before you started to drink that.
Okay, well, I'm going to disclose that one of my, I'm going to say guilty pleasures is that I drink Diet Dr. Pepper. Now, it's Diet Dr. Pepper. Now, but there is still some debate regarding the difference between sugar sweetened pop and artificially sweetened pop like I drink.
Yeah.
And neither one of them is necessarily better. I guess, can you briefly address that and why neither is necessarily better, but what the balance might be?
Right. So number one caveat is if you have a condition where you shouldn't have sugar, maybe you're diabetic, then you shouldn't be drinking the sugar pop at all, right? But if you wanted an alternative, you may do the diet. I know there's some question about sugar substitutes. Nothing has been conclusive yet as of now, but my recommendation is everything in moderation. Also, maybe switching up instead of a regular soda pop and instead of a diet, maybe just doing a sparkling water if you want that bubbly sensation.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
add a little lemon or lime.
Yeah, and I have to admit, when I'm at home, I actually turn to a Soda Stream. So
Yeah,
this is just
fantastic.
my portable solution, I suppose. Well, anything else that we didn't talk about that you think is important to bring up?
I think it's just important to be aware and trying to make those good choices, trying to eat whole grains because they also contain carbohydrates or sugars, right? But the more whole grain, the better when you're eating food. As far as fruit, the more you're eating the whole fruit, the apple, the strawberries, everything with the fiber. It's going to really, really help with your blood sugar. It's going to help with your the surge of that sugar. And also reading labels, making sure you're looking for added sugar on the label. It says it right there. All the labels will have under carbohydrates, it'll say added sugar content. And that's where you want to look to see how many added sugar grams there are in that food. Everything in moderation. We all want a cookie. We all want a nice sweet treat, but definitely you need to watch for how much you're eating, right?
Excellent.
And, yeah.
Well, Hallie Saperstein, thank you so much for talking to me this morning. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.